Hey guys, it's Jesse from PS4Daily.com here, and I'm here with another PSN Weekly. Today on PSN Weekly, we're taking a look at Tabletop Racing by Ripstone Publishing and Playwise Digital. One thing to note before I actually get into starting into this video is that Playwise Digital is composed of developers who have a history in racing games. So some of the developers worked on the previous Wipeout titles, which really shows. So Tabletop Racing itself is a combat RC racer game, so you're gonna see a lot of influences from the previous projects that these people worked on. Like I said before, I really get that Wipeout feel uh, later on in the game, and you're definitely gonna see that in this video. But right now, I'm taking you through the upgrade process. Each of the cars can be upgraded with better stats to help you out in the races, and you can also buy these little weapon wheels that help you that give you like little edges in the game. Right now I have a weapon wheel equipped that gives me more coins per race. So as I start drifting around corners, you're going to see coins radiating out of my vehicle and going into this little box. That's going to give me more coins per race, and that's going to help me accrue some coins to buy more upgrades and things like that. You could also just buy the coins on the PlayStation Store via microtransactions, but one thing I want to note is that that's not necessarily necessary to do. I know I was kind of wary about the microtransaction part when I heard about that at first, but luckily Playwise Digital scaled that back a little bit. Initially on the mobile version of the game, which is available on Android and iOS, they had the microtransactions in there, and I guess it was a little bit more grindy in nature, so they kind of scaled that back by a little bit half. So you know, the PS Vita version, it's not really grindy, and that's one of the things that you really do notice. There was never really a point where I felt that I had to grind to get an upgrade or to buy. Well, I mean, the weapon wheels are kind of pricey, but in terms of getting upgrades, I never really felt that I had to grind, or at least grind too much. I maybe had to do one or two more races over again to get enough money to purchase a speed boost or acceleration boost or things of that nature, or maybe even a new car that I got after completing a championship. But anyway, so what you see right here is me playing through one of the special events. There are a lot of special events to go through on different difficulties. Right here I'm supposed to beat it within 5 laps, getting first place so I can avoid getting eliminated. And you're not going to see this in this match, but one of the things I want to note is that this is one of those games where, you know, knowing the track really pays off. Obviously that can be said for a lot of racing titles, but I felt like tabletop racing really illustrated that to its fullest potential. Later on in this video, you're gonna see me doing one of the other events within the championship mode that requires you to speed past, or at least get through the track in a certain amount of time to get the bronze, silver, or gold medal. Now, initially, I had a lot of trouble with this just because, one, I didn't know the track, and two, my stats weren't high enough. So I upgraded my stats, which at that point I could immediately tell that my car was better than the car I started out with, which really surprised me. In games, I can never really tell. You know, it's not really. I don't get that immediate sense of, oh my gosh, my car feels so much faster, my car feels so much stronger. So it was really nice that I was able to tell that in tabletop racing. But like I said, that specific race I'm gonna do later on is one of those races where, you know, you have to know the track. You know, taking sharp corners just to reduce your time by maybe even a millisecond is really gonna help in a game like this, and that really shows later on in this game. But I think right now we're doing one of the combat races, so you're gonna see me killing a lot of people. This is another one of the special events where like before you saw me and it was only an EMP match, this one is a rocket match. So in the game you have these little Crash Bandicoot tag team racing type boxes that you smash through, so you can either get a missile launcher, EMP, speed boost, or actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Or, oh no, or a mine that you can drop in the back. So there's only 4 weapons, which I honestly can't complain about. You know, it's nice having just 4 weapons. You don't have to manage, oh my gosh, well, what weapon could they have gotten? You know, there's always a point in the game where you know, okay, if someone gets through if someone smashes through a weapon block, then you know, okay, it's a 25% chance they have a mine, or a 25% chance they have a rocket, or just something like that. It makes the game easier in a sense. And so you can see here I'm taking these turns quite liberally, or conservatively, should I say, because I want to get that first place and get all 3 stars. And so once you get all 3 stars, you get a total prize, and that contributes to your level as well as your overall amount of money. So in a game like this, tight controls are incredibly important, as well as 60 frames per second gameplay. So I'm happy to say that tabletop racing has both of these qualities. So, you know, taking those turns is going to be a lot easier with a game like this, just because you're running it as fast as it can be, and as you're taking those turns as quickly as possible. The controls are incredibly responsive, and it just makes things of that nature a lot easier. So here we're going to go through the championship mode a little bit, just before I show you the drift event, which I actually can't show you any of the races in the drift event, just because where I am in tabletop racing, I don't have the required car to enter into the drift event. That's something I'll get later on in the game after completing a certain number of championships, as well as getting a certain amount of money to purchase. So I've completed 2 championships so far, and here I am on my 3rd, which is where I encounter one of the more interesting aspects of tabletop racing. So there are, I want to say, around 12 tracks, and 6 of those tracks are retreads of the previous tracks, except you do them in reverse. Now initially I was kind of like, that kind of sounds lame. I kind of wish they had added 6 new tracks. But upon playing this one, this is where I really noticed it. It feels like a completely different track. I had to really rethink, okay, what am I gonna do in this track? Like, you know, I could mark those, I knew those landmarks in the track, but I didn't really know how to approach them, since I'd only approached them going from front to back and not back to front. So it kind of requires you to, you know, kind of rethink how you're going to tackle each track. Now you saw there I had to restart, just because, you know, in an event like this where time is crucial, you don't want to hit something, or you don't want to hit something at least without a boost to kind of negate that effect, that, or negate the time that you just lost. So here you can see I kind of suck at this, but you're also going to see that taking those sharp turns is important, as well as getting those boosts, and you can really feel the sense of speed that you're getting from this game. And that's one of the things I really liked about this. I was kind of curious about that part. I noticed I kind of warped farther than I would have had I fallen off at an earlier point in the track. So I think that's one of the things I can use to kind of reduce my time in this track. If not, just get a whole new car and upgrade that car itself. But yeah, I believe that's really all I have to say right now about tabletop racing. The game's a lot of fun. There's a lot of content to it, a decent amount of trophies, decent amount of cars, as well as weapon wheels to unlock. You can even get paint jobs in the game, and I mean there's a lot of content to this game, and I believe it's like what, $8.99 or somewhere around that range on PSN right now. So tabletop racing is definitely a game that I recommended you guys pick up. Support Playwrights Digital and Ripstone. In fact, Playwrights Digital did say that they, I believe they said that they wouldn't be against going back to Wipeout for the PS4. So I mean, hey, show them that you do want them to continue the racing series, and purchase tabletop racing. It's a fun game, and I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna like this one, especially if you've been pining for a racing experience on the PS Vita. Oh, and one other thing I do want to note is that all the racetracks are actually on tabletops, which I really liked. So as you guys can see here, this one's filled with picnic food, hamburgers, drinks, that kind of stuff. You know, there's the tarp of the track is actually like the picnic mat itself, I guess you can call it. And some of the other tracks are, what are some of the other tracks? Another one of the tracks Yeah, it has hardware tools on it, so you'll have hammers, saws, and things of that nature. So I really actually thought that this was kind of cool. But anyway, I'm Jesse from PS4 Daily, and I'll see you guys later.